All right, hey, this is Mike here, and I have something especially extraordinary. I've got this red carpet conversion picture here today, and we've got a great red carpet conversion case study. I'm going to move Mike here on Skype over to the left. I want to introduce you to my friend and client, Mike Swanson. Mike?
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
All right, great. And this is going to be a real cool case study that we're going to do on a very successful launch that Mike just did. It's definitely a red carpet conversion style launch, and I'm pulling up a few search results here from my email inbox, and Mike is in the stock trading niche, and recently that's been a real hard niche. People, your competition has been running for the hills. They've been having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's right. And that was one thing. I was just looking at the numbers for the launch. We'll get into that later. But basically, what's happened is I did this in a few weeks ago, and the stock market was pulling back. So it's a combination thing. That's one thing that's happening. The market's been pulling back, and that makes people nervous. Plus, just over the years, people have been beaten up by the stock market, and the economy's bad, and people don't. There's actually more people pulling money out of stocks the past year than putting money into it.
Right.
But then, also, just as important though is the niche itself. Basically, what I think has happened is that it's a couple years behind the internet marketing niche, and most people are working by themselves. I am pretty much, but there's a group of people that are doing launches, and they're kind of at the moment kind of dominating it, but their offers are like identical every single time. They're really hyping people up a whole lot, and I think disappointing people, but they're basically doing the same style thing over and over and over again, and I think it's kind of exhausting the market a little bit. So people are getting more skeptical and so forth. So I basically wanted to do something different than what other people are doing, and that was one reason I sucked into the material that you're putting out there, is because I wanted to get ideas to do that.
Great. Well, let's start. This is going to be a wonderful step-by-step case study. Take me back to July 20th, and there's an email I'm pulling up right here. What I'm doing with my money, and this is the beginning of this launch. And this is exciting because this is just to your internal list. It's mostly free traffic built. You have some old leads from some paid traffic, but most of that paid traffic list got beaten up by you doing kind of old school launches that would have like a lot of scarcity and stuff like that. So you're really trying to rehabilitate your list because there's not a lot of new leads on this list. It's mostly just a few leads trickling in, mostly from free search engine traffic at this point.
Yeah, that's right. So basically what happened was I never stopped giving free content to the list, but again, I wanted to do something a little different. And basically what I did was combine two concepts together. One was I started to show people for free what I was really doing in my portfolio, what I was really buying and selling, the exact number of shares, everything. And no one does that for the most part. But then I combined it with using picture-in-picture video, which I've seen you do in your marketing materials and in the membership area and so forth. And actually that's, I can think back to when I bought into Bring the Fresh. And that was probably one of the big reasons I bought it. Maybe half the reason was just seeing you and Kelly Felix in these picture-in-picture videos, and that made me feel like I knew you and had a relationship of some sorts with you, and made me trust what you're putting together because I could see it for real. That the two of you were making these sites and getting traffic. So I kind of was inspired by that idea and did the same thing with stocks. Over a period of 2 months, I was doing that. I was buying stocks, and they were going up, and I was showing people that this was for real. And
Did you cut out there for a second, maybe?
no, I'm still here.
Okay, great. So you're showing people that it was for real. Terrific. Okay, well let's just dive right into this. This all starts July 20th, and this was not a picture-in-picture video, but we'll show the first email in this sequence. In this video, I talk about how I think a big investment point is coming in the market and what I plan to do with my money. And then when I click in on that, Then there's going to be, this is the old school type style videos that you were doing,
that's
where it was
right.
just PowerPoints. You weren't showing, and I'm just going to let this play for just a couple of seconds, but I'll.
Hey, this is Mike Swanson. I've got a little presentation at the end of it. I'm going to ask for your advice, but I think I'm going to.
Okay, so great. So this is a video, and I personally, just so you know, I actually don't like surveying my customers, but it's something that Mike did, and it got some interaction going, and this was a PowerPoint's presentation. And can you give us the quick rundown of what this video was as best as you can remember it?
Yeah, basically what had happened was I personally was in cash, and the stock market all over the world, not just the United States, but all over the world, had pulled back, and I was basically getting ready to buy stuff. And that's what the video was about. Like, hey, I'm getting ready to buy stuff. And my plan was, once I started to buy, I was going to show them with picture-in-picture videos, which is what ended up happening. But one thing about those PowerPoint presentations, like you're saying, I've always used those in the past, and I don't think they're really that effective for the viewer. They help me. They help me when I deliver the presentation because I can see it, like it's an outline. But I think the viewer gets bored of it because they see what you're going to say. Whereas the picture-in-picture, like what we're doing, they don't know what we're going to talk about next. So I think it makes it more interesting, than they see it all laid out in front of them.
That's cool. Okay, great. And I'll include all these swipe files with this. This is such an extraordinary. It's very rare to get this full kind of behind, inside baseball kind of stuff. So I remember that video. Mostly what you do is you say, here's what I've been doing. Here's why I've been out of the market. I've been investing in some local businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But now what I'm going to do in the next couple of days is I'm going to start investing. And do you think it was particularly effective for you to do that surveying, or do you think that was a little bit spinning your wheels? And I'm not trying to put, I don't know.
It's just a waste of time, really.
Okay, yeah, because I don't recommend that people do that. I think that your list is looking to you to lead, and from here on in, you really did lead. Okay, so stock market update report. This next one is a PDF that you put out, and you're kind of laying the groundwork here. And this is, I'll include this. You talk. Oh, this is where you gave your book away, isn't it? Is this where you gave your book away for free? No, I think you had just given it away a few days ago. Before that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't then. It wasn't then.
Okay, great. All right. So, anyways, so this is a real short PDF. It's a 3-page, 4-page PDF report.
All right.
And you just talk a little bit about what's going on and what your game plan. You're kind of like laying out what your game plan is going to be for your trading for the next couple months. And again, I'll include each of these things if people want to browse in on them. So now this is where it really heats up. July 24th. Let's take a look at my real portfolio. Okay, so this is from you. I just set up a portfolio with Google Finance that will mirror my real portfolio and help you in these markets. I believe that some serious investment opportunities and a great buy point will be coming in a few months. I want to do my best to help you with it and with this market. So I'm going to click in on this video, and this is the first picture-in-picture video that you did.
Actually, in that video, I didn't buy. All I did was set it up. I didn't make any trades or anything. I was just telling people what I'm going to do.
Okay, great.
Basically.
All right, and let's try to see how long this video is.
Hey, this is Mike Swanson.
It's a 12-minute, 46-second video, and let me see if I can jump over to to YouTube and get an idea of how many views this video had. I don't know if I can or not. Let me see.
I can do that pretty
Can
quick.
you do that for me? Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Because I got the video manager, I can just see them all pop right up. That's July
24th.
Well, they threw always anyway. 3,000 people.
Okay, nice. Okay, 3,000 people. Again, this is going to be quite a successful launch. So you're getting 3,000 people. You got 3,000 people watching, and 3,000 people getting to know you, which is pretty cool. How big is the overall list at this point?
Well, I've got about 50,000 people on the list, but I would say, the list is old, right? 7 years old. Or, 6 years old, really.
Yeah.
So there's probably about when I send something out, the most clicks and stuff I get is about 7,000.
Okay.
So, there may have been more than 3,000 people actually watching that. It's hard to tell. But.
Okay, yeah, because I think you have to watch the full video
Yeah.
to see it. Okay, so in that video, you're just doing that basic building block. You take about 10 minutes to show them you actually setting up your actual, setting it up and funding it. And I think you funded it with about $250,000, if I remember properly.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so then, so now August 2nd, it's about, what is that, just a little over a week later, making a small bet against stock market.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I just took a position against the stock market. FED and ECB did nothing, so August probably will see some selling off the recent rally. And so I'll click in on this, and again, it's another picture-in-picture video. Can you explain this one to us?
Yeah, well, the one thing that's key too is in the email it says, you said FED and ECB. Not everyone may know what that means, but at the time, that stands for Federal Reserve and European Central Bank. And the people on the list, that are real active in the market, they know what that stands for. And at the time, that was a big news story. People on CNBC were saying something was going to happen, it didn't happen, and so forth. But what's more noteworthy, though, is that what I did actually was I made a trade against the stock market, and I ended up a day or two later, I think on the 5th, getting out of it and taking a small loss. So the thing I did first actually turned out to be a loser, which is good, and it's not good to lose money, but it's good because it shows people I'm not bullshitting, right?
Yeah.
That, this is real. So
yeah, I like that, and it also goes to show it's okay to make a move because this wound up being a very successful launch. It's okay to make a move, even if that move doesn't pan out. Even if you're doing something like predicting something, if you're in the stock market or Forex or something like that, then it's fine to predict something. Now, can you talk to me a little bit about the transition going from PowerPoint videos to picture-in-picture videos and what that was like for you personally? Because at this point, you're starting to get a little feedback. And how many video views did this video get? Probably around the same, or a little more, a little bit less?
I'm looking, it says 1,000 on this one.
Okay, so a few less. So maybe it was a little bit less of an interesting news item for people.
I can tell you why that would be. People are more interested in purchases than there's more. People aren't as interested when you bet against the stock market as they are when you buy something.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, great.
That would be one reason.
So what's the experience like? And by the way, it's worthwhile to note what things like really fire people up. If something interests people, just because it interests you doesn't mean it interests people on your list. So realizing what things people do want to see and giving it to them is part of this marketing experience.
Well, as far as my experience, I've done lots of videos before with me in them, so it doesn't make me nervous. But so I mean, personally, it's no problem for me to do it. But one thing that does happen, though, or did happen, was I would get emails from people that were more responsive and maybe more responsive to what I was doing.
Okay.
I would get more feedback than I did before because it's real interesting. My experience with video is I started doing videos like in 2006, and I was in them, like putting them on YouTube and so forth. And back then, I would get all this feedback, like, "Wow, I really trust you," and blah blah blah. And I could tell it was because not very many people were doing video at that time. And then that kind of feedback started to fade away because it was no longer unique, or people are doing internet marketing, but not in the stock market. So what happened though is when I started doing this picture-in-picture thing, I started to get that kind of feedback again, where I can really tell people really like it. They really trust me more because they're seeing me in these videos. But it's not just I'm in the videos; it's me being along with, walking them through stuff. They feel like they're right. I think that they're with me looking at the computer or something.
Like over your shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm the only one that I know of doing that in the stock trading world. and you're the only person I've seen do it at all. So
yeah, yeah. I think it's a real powerful thing. That's great. Okay, and so do you remember, since it's pretty fresh in your memory, about how many emails that you were getting back from these various videos? Were you getting like 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 or 2 or 3?
I would get sometimes 10, sometimes 20.
Wow, that's a lot.
It depends on what they're about.
Because it really takes people, like you might assume that an email out to a list of thousands of people would provoke hundreds of responses, but really, people usually feel like you're not going to talk back to them. You're not that they're not going to hear back from you.
Right, and then the emails I do get from people are usually questions. I almost never get. I mean, it's not. I almost never get emails from people who. Well, I do sometimes, but the minority of emails I get are from people that say something like, "Thanks for this stock. It went up."
So testimonials.
Yeah, I mean, I get some, but they're in the minority. The reason why is for my experience in this niche. Maybe others are different, but my experience is when someone is happy, you don't really hear from them that much. When I do get emails, it's usually from someone asking a question, which is fine. But I was getting more. Doing these picture things generates more of those type of emails, because what's going on is when I mean a question, they're asking me for advice, or instead of just making a statement like, "Hey, you help me make money," they're asking me for advice or how to do something. And what's going on, I think, is now they're seeing these videos, they're trusting me more, so they think I'm going to answer the question, or they think I can give them an answer more than simply like someone reading a text or seeing the PowerPoint. So it's all good. I mean, but that's what you really want to see when you do something, some positive feedback from people, because that shows that you're reaching people, you're making connection with them. So the videos gets me more of that for certain than I was getting beforehand.
Nice. And about how many emails would you get before that on a dispatch?
Maybe half a dozen or something.
Okay. So as much as 4 times as much. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, but more importantly, the emails I was getting more, and then I was also getting more of these types of question type emails instead of just someone saying I'm happy or
right.
I disagree with you.
Now you're getting much nicer feedback from people. Like it's warmer. It's very easy on the internet to fall into this trap where like there's a study that just came out saying that people are mean to each other on Facebook. And the reason why is they don't see each other. Like, you'll be using your smartphone, right? And I'm holding up my iPhone right now, Mike. And it's such a small little thing. So when you type something into Facebook on your iPhone, it almost feels like it's a little small, tiny message. What's the harm of it? But you can really wind up hurting somebody's feelings or being kind of disrespectful inadvertently. And that's kind of a symptom of this feeling disconnected from people, whereas what you're doing is really establishing that connection.
Well, actually, that you mentioned something like that. The thing about the stock market, too, is people have opinions on the market. There's a lot of people that short stocks and bet against the stock market, so where they may think something's going to crash, whatever. There's people think it's going to go up, people think it's going to go down, and so if I have a strong opinion on one end, there's people that disagree. And one thing that's kind of interesting I just realized is I actually hear less from people disagreeing with me now than I did before, which is kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
So, I could get, every once in a while, I still get an email like, "Hey, I think it's going to crash. You're being crazy to be buying or telling people this or something." But I got one the other day. And the reason why it sticks out is because I don't remember getting one like that for a month.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, well, that's cool. That's really cool.
Which I think, which goes to what you're saying, is I think if it was just pure text that they're getting, they'd be more likely to do that.
Yeah, they don't see it as a real person. Okay,
exactly.
Next is August 5th, important monthly newsletter. My views on the market are changing. Think big gains are coming for Europe, gold, emerging markets, and starting to invest in them. And then you got a PDF here. And I'm opening that up right now, and it looks like it is about 8 pages. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Yeah, about 8 pages. And once again here, you're kind of talking. Now, this is a little, people are seeing these trends and stuff like that, but this is the nomenclature of the market. I used to do this kind of thing for my game stuff, and I would show screen captures of games, or of cards, and talk about various cards in Magic or whatever. And that's very interesting for people in that market. If it was internet marketing, I might show a screen capture of some earnings, or a screen capture of rankings and so forth. And so you have this nice PDF newsletter. That's something that you've been doing for years, and that's effective. So that comes out the 5th, and let's go back. Oops, I need to do that. And go back. So then let's go to the newer ones, and we go to August 6th. That's the next day. Open portfolio, new investment positions. I just took 8 new investment positions. I plan on holding these positions for several years. Some of them pay dividends of over 10%. Okay, so let's click in on this. So we've got a new picture-in-picture videos, and this is from August 6th. And about how many views do we have on this?
Let's see, 2,500.
Okay, great. So that kind of proves out your idea a little bit, that buying stock positions in the stock market will increase your overall success. Yeah. And the reason I bring this up, me and David Mills, we had a real successful game advice business, and one time I won. So it was Magic the Gathering, and it's a tournament game. And one time I won 5 tournaments in a row with a brand new deck, and I recorded all 5 of them. And we thought that this was going to be a blockbuster, and nobody cared. I mean, I don't want to say nobody cared, but it just didn't.
Why is that?
I don't know. But what I do know is that shortly after that, we started a campaign called the Zuzu the Great campaign, about a top secret custom deck called Zuzu the Great. And it made people go wild. I mean, they just went wild. And it had so much more success than showing this kind of ordinary deck that wasn't a top secret deck. That was, so just, I think, the top secret nature to it, and that it had a name to it, that it was Zuzu the Great, and it was just kind of more interesting for people. And I always remember that, because I started doing this with Bring the Fresh when we first started touting gold. Rather than starting to talk about gold, I called it Operation Zuzu, to just make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more appealing, kind of give it a code name, and just to have fun with it, and also to help it kind of stick out in people's minds a little bit more, and it sticks out in my mind more. So I like to notice these things that kind of get people up more, and in your case, you got them up more by taking some buying positions. So what was this video about? So basically, you bought 8 stocks. Is that correct? You just go in there and say, I'm going to buy a few shares of this.
All I did was I had that Google Finance thing, and I just typed in the ones I bought, and I don't even. There's 8 of them. I'm sure there's some gold stocks and stocks in Europe.
Okay,
sure.
Great. All right, so you buy a few stocks, 2,500, and it says you put about $20,000 in each of these positions, and you plan on holding them for several years. So they get to watch you spend $160,000, which is pretty fun. Of course, this is all virtual money, but that was mirroring your real portfolio. And again, this is just what Mike does. It's not necessarily something that you'll do, but I'm giving you this example so it could then translate into something different. I'm giving you a few, like what we did in Magic is a different example.
Actually, if someone goes to YouTube and looks at the video, they can see there's 6 comments on this one.
Yeah, let me get in there. I'll find a way to get over to YouTube.
Anyway, those comments. Actually, I'll try to Skype it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I seem to have. Oh wait, I can copy the video URL. No problem. I got it.
Okay.
So
anyway.
Oh wow, it's actually got 3,800 views, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think your stats are off a little bit. Okay, so let's see all the and it looks like I got 2 comments. I wonder if I got the right video.
I'm looking at a different video than you are.
I think I'm looking at the wrong video too. Yeah, I am. Okay, let me take the one that you Skyped me and see if I can find that.
But anyway, these comments, these are the type of email. These comments read like the emails I get, basically. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, in past videos, someone can go look at this YouTube account. they'll see there's very few comments. Now all of a sudden there's always comments.
Okay, let's have a look at some of these comments. Polar Jane. These high-yielding positions are exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. These videos are really great. I've been a fan for a while, and I'm looking forward to hearing your ideas. By the way, is there any way to zoom in on your portfolio and capture the screen at a higher resolution? At the current highest resolution and full screen, I can't really make out the numbers because of the YouTube picture quality. Hey, Mike, I think okay, this is kind of some nomenclature. It looks to be capitulation. The volume is out there. What were your thoughts? So that's just somebody kind of talking shop with you. As a subscriber, I was looking forward to the over-the-shoulder view of your open portfolio and find that subscribers won't get to see your portfolio on Google Finance. Why? It's interesting. There isn't a public Google area where I can send a link to. I can't get my password out to the whole world. Oh, okay, this is you answering them, so that's great. That's great.
What I ended up doing was making a spreadsheet file everyone can download.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Very nice. Thanks for your thoughts and your guts to post your positions. That's nice. Wow. So these are really nice nice reviews. 2,600 views on that. So I'm gonna click out of this here, and I'm gonna click out of this here. Okay, so this is getting us some good insight. So now we're on August 6th. So let's fast forward a little bit. So we were August 6th. Now the next one is August 13th. Stock market update. What I'm trading, what I'm now tracking in this market. I just posted a video update about the stock market. There's so much crazy news that you can't figure out exactly what's going to happen, but you don't need to know everything. You just need to focus on a few things to know how to invest in this market, Mike. So we click on this, and it's another video. And here you are, and it looks like you're really getting into it in the video. It's kind of cool. So how many views does this video have? This is let's see what the date is here. Looks like it's the 13th of August.
2,000 again.
2,000 views. Okay, so another robust amount.
13 comments. So.
Oh wow! Can you Skype me that?
Yeah,
link?
Sure.
Let's have a look at these comments. And this is real unique. You know, in the internet marketing world, if you know what's working right now, then you can copy it and you can scale it. It looks like almost.
Well, one key thing about that email, I don't exact. Well, oh, actually, that's a good comment right there in the bottom. One thing about this email that I said in there, it's real key though, is what I said about what I described is you don't know if it's going to go up or down or blah blah blah. That's how people feel, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to enter what they're thinking and then give them some direction. And you can see the reason there's so many comments is there's someone disagreeing with me and trying to say it's going to crash. But then at the end, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he kind of comes around.
Because this guy's trying to figure out who I am, and he disagrees with me. And the last comment he says is, if you're honest and not being paid by some sponsor to tell us this, then you can disregard my comment.
But that's great. I mean, people can see that you care.
Trying to help people. Basically, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, and you're really engaging people, and that's just the bottom line. Like obviously, people are looking at this and they're taking it seriously, and it matters to them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So again, in this video, you're kind of giving your opinion about how to analyze the market, and we're not going to get into the nomenclature of that because that will probably be a little confusing for people. One of the things that you took something you took from Greg's ideas, you actually have a Wall Street window sign hung up behind you.
Yeah.
And that's something that Greg does. Greg has those great OMG signs behind him. It makes things a little bit more official, a little bit more personal. Okay, stock market update. All right, so that was August 13th. Okay. Now we click forward. My 3 new buys today. This is August 16th. Okay. I just made 3 new buys today in my portfolio. And these are short little videos that you're doing all together. Yeah, it's funny. Minutes. It might look like a lot of work, but this winds up, you'll see, this winds up in a big launch. Okay, so you list 3 things that you buy, and then basically that's what this video is about. How many views do we have on this video?
2,400.
Great, so it's holding steady between 2,000 and 3,000, and then basically this video, I take it, it looks like it's about 10 minutes again, and you're just basically buying these 3 stocks and then kind of giving people your comments as you're buying them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and of course anybody can just watch these videos if they want to. They're welcome. We're going to lay them out for you. your YouTube channel is what? Trader Mike 2006?
2005. Trader Mike 2005.
Trader Mike 2005. I'll include that. Okay, so that was the 16th. August 17th, I'm buying grease today. Okay, so you kind of ramp things up a little bit. Got another communication. And this one is not a video. It's more of a document. So you're kind of varying things a little bit.
Okay.
And so this isn't a PDF. It's just a, basically an HTML page. And again, you kind of show us a chart, and that's kind of important to what you're doing. And you talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then you also point to, here, for a full spreadsheet of my portfolio, click here. For the list of transactions in the portfolio, click here. And then Mike Fraley did a video update on his site about the markets. To watch it, click here. So you're giving a little bit more context there. So you can link out to other stuff, and that's fine. All right, August 22nd, commodities breaking into new bull market. Sounds exciting. Just did this video. Even though the S&P 500 went into the red yesterday, commodities and gold stocks surged. Oh, that sounds exciting. CRB.
Oh, yeah, so what's happened is the positions I bought have all started going up.
Okay, great. So you made some bets and they started going up.
Yep.
And this, once again, is a video. And looks like it's a 12-minute video. About how many views do we have on this one?
2,700 on this one.
Okay, so a few more. So you've kind of struck a winning formula, and people are really following along with you here. And, the people who are following with you are really following. They're giving you comments, they're sending you emails. And again, so with this, you're basically saying, look, I was right in this case.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
All right, and probably explaining a little bit about what's going on in the market and so forth. Okay, where is the best place to invest? This is August 28th. New stuff. I talk about new places to invest I haven't mentioned yet that have super low valuations and even ETFs that pay beefy dividends. And this is interesting that you're doing all this marketing like right after the Facebook crash. There's a real debacle,
yeah, that's right.
Real frustrating for people. A lot of people took a bath on that. You actually warned people against that. And what's interesting is that you're doing this at a time when people are really resisting the stock market. More money's coming out of it, and you're holding people's interest. So again, this is just kind of an article, and you're kind of changing things up for people a little bit here. It's like essentially a blog post, actually.
Mm-hmm, that's what it is. And the blog post is going to an article that I didn't write, someone else wrote. I'm just telling them to go read it.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. And it looks like you have comments here. A lot of comments, actually. Quite a lot of comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then you have a free membership video at the end. Okay, great. All right, so you're getting really nice comments, and that's great. Because the point is, once you're getting people in the spirit of commenting, they're commenting more altogether. All right. All right. So next is your next issue of the Wall Street Window newsletter, which is September 3rd. So I'm clicking in on that, and that's going to be probably looks like another 8-pager, and you're just walking people through what's going on. Now, do you start mentioning the launch at this point, or
no?
Okay, so you're still just coming along with people. You mentioned a book that you've been reading that you found interesting, and just some slice of life stuff. And then next we've got buying new mining in Europe positions. That's September 4th. I just bought these new positions.
What I'm doing right there is the one you just mentioned. Where's the best place to invest? I'm now buying what I was talking about there.
Okay, got it.
That's what's happening.
Okay, so you're buying this mining in European positions.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so again, this is another document. You're just kind of explaining stuff, explaining what's going on. This is another blog post. Lots of comments. Lots and lots of comments.
Yeah.
Lots of comments. Mike, thanks for sharing all your work. It's a gift to all of us who know you're brighter than just about everyone out there giving investment advice. What do you think about blah, blah, blah? Just some nomenclature stuff. That's from Jerry. That's great. It's really nice to see that stuff. Look at this one from Volume. Mike, thank you so much for all this information. I like the idea of having someone buy and hold positions as I'm tired of trading and commissions. I did buy a mutual fund for gold and hold TGMX. Anyway, whatever. So another testimonial. Thanks for the investment ideas. Another testimonial. Maybe another testimonial. Michael, I have to say that I admire your broad perspective, independent thought, and comments under precarious circumstances. Wow. So you're really getting props here for being bold. Mike, you may be right about gold. Yeah, this is neat.
And then,
enjoy your comments. Boy, I got to say, testimonial, I at this point, just
They're
testimonial after
wonderful.
testimonial. And this isn't even a video, which is interesting at this point. Mike, you nailed this. Congrats on the new approach. Mike, you're doing an amazing job by opening up your kitchen and saying that we're in it together. Wow, this one's really something. This is Isla Kudish. I never saw anybody do that. It was admirable at any time, but especially when most people are so disillusioned about the stock market and Wall Street. And this was exactly what you and I were talking about, that people,
is right there.
Folks, they're sick of Washington, of looking to Washington for help. They're sick of looking to their boss for the way. Their family doesn't know what to do. And here you are shining a light, and it's really working. This is wonderful, Mike. Well, and this got to really make you feel freaking good. You
Awesome.
get comments like that.
It's real interesting to go through this with you because I haven't looked back at all this. I just do it and forget about it.
Yeah.
It's neat,
Yeah, it's fun for me. Okay, so September 6th, good news for you. Yes, I know the Dow went up a lot today, ECB news, but no one is taking this huge event that just happened and that will have a positive impact on your portfolio going forward. So you're telling them about a secret.
Yeah, now this is big, okay, and what's happened is in the summertime, the market had a correction, and the news event that everyone on television was talking about was this Greece European crisis.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that.
And I actually, a few steps, one of the videos before this, I bought an ETF that trades Greece. That was one of the European things I bought. And everyone was talking about it. It already had crashed, so it bottomed out. But people were still worried about this. And the TV was still talking about it all the time. And now what's happened is the Greece stock market all of a sudden went up a crazy amount in one single day, like almost 10% or something. And I had bought it, so I'd made that on that position. But they weren't talking about it on TV anymore. But more importantly, I was telling them, look, now they're not talking about it on TV, you don't have to worry about it. And your portfolio is fine. And so people really like this video, because no one's telling people that, even though.
Yeah, like one of the things that you're doing is you're giving people a clear, and we talked about this, giving people a clear sense of direction.
Right.
A clear sense of direction, because anybody can go out there and say, well, you want to buy low, you want to sell high, you want to be a bull at the right time, you want to be a bear at the right time. I mean, anyone can give kind of vague advice, anyone can give theory, and here you are letting it all hang out. And you started off with a loss, but now, as you're going along, when the good news ticks in, you look great.
Yeah. And what's interesting, too, is I'm looking, as we're doing this, I'm looking at my Weber account, and that email had 5,700 clicks, which was a lot. It had more clicks than the ones right before it. So that email worked too, right?
Can you send us a screen capture of the Weber that opens and such like that, so I can include that?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you know how to do that?
I don't know how to do it as we're speaking.
Okay, well, I'll talk you through it later on. I'll show you how to use Skype, and I'll include that in this because I think that'll be instructive for people. Okay, now how many video views did we get on this sucker?
It says 3,000, but
okay, great. So
obviously it's
real robust number.
It was more than that though, because 5,700 people went to the.
Yeah. Now, because sometimes if people don't watch long enough of the video, now what?
Yeah.
I also tell people like it's also often enough for people to just come to the page, see that there's a video, and they read the text, and that picture there, it's a real source of credibility because they know that you. I say this again and again. People respect what you inspect. And it shows that you took the time to make this whole video. And the video still shows plenty. Like you see that it went up. You see that the Greece went up. That you see the big spike right there. It's very clear. And so you can get a lot of the information just by reading the email and looking at the picture as well. Now,
Yeah, that's right.
how are the comments in that video? Are there kind of a number of those, or is that worth looking at? You want to take a quick look?
Actually, there's none in that one.
Okay, no biggie. All right, so we'll click on here. Let's see, I'm just curious. Oh, but there are a number of comments underneath the video.
Yeah, there are, yeah. Yeah, on the website.
Yeah, a lot on the, actually a lot. Gosh. Yeah.
Most of it looks like it's from people.
Very clear and helpful.
They should.
Yeah, very clear and helpful. Mike, I don't understand why you're telling people to own physical gold and silver. These will outperform. Why you're not telling people to buy physical gold and silver. It's funny. It's great.
I'm not telling them not to do it. I'm talking about stocks.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so but you're really engaging people at this point, which is great. Okay, so that's good news for you is the subject headline there, and that's a nice subject header. One more buy point coming, and this is September 10th. All right, so let's click in on this. Markets have broken out all over the world and generated giant gains. I think one more buy is coming through. All right, so clicking on this, and it's another video. And lots of comments on this one. Good morning to you, Mike. Thanks for these videos. Great information. Long, passionate. People are writing like long stuff.
Yeah.
Now, how many video views for this one? This is 910.
I think here it is.
It's called New Bull Market Starting in Greece.
3,700 for that one.
Whoa! Wow. So you're really starting to spike in views. All right, great. Okay, so that's, and again, I'll include Mike's YouTube channel so you can inspect the stuff yourself if you want to. So that's September 10th. Now, it looks like we have a big layoff between September 10th and October 1st. You don't do anything until you lay out the newsletter. So this is the new newsletter, and it comes out October 1st. And now, anything special in this one? Is this it's kind of same kind of stuff, just spelling out your position?
Yeah, well, actually, I do that, and then I also tell them the launch is coming.
You do, okay. So this is a launch announcement newsletter.
That's when I first mentioned the launch.
Okay, so this is a launch announcement newsletter. And so how do you announce? Oh, here it is. Okay, so before we get into that, I need to make a quick announcement. I'm going to start to do a live mastermind webinar every single month for premium Wall Street Window Power Investor members. This will probably do the first one this Thursday. If you're a premium member, then you'll be able to pop in and ask me any question you like during these webinars, and we'll be use them together to look through stocks and sectors and find new opportunities to analyze what's happening in the stock market. I'll also give an even bigger way to help Power Investor members go one-on-one that I'm setting up too. My goal is to turn the Power Investor service into a high-level inner circle for coaching and mastermind program where we all get together and really help each other. This is my way of trying to deliver above and beyond what others do. Most people just feed people stock picks no matter whether they own them or not because people crave stock picks and the whole industry is developed into sell them what they desire. But people like fatty foods too. I really like this because you're really standing out. You're saying, listen, I think that this is more valuable than, I was watching Ronald Reagan's 1964 address to the Republican National Convention. That was his first big speech. I know I've sent that to you before, Mike.
Yeah, it's
great. It's amazing. And really, this is the first really articulate and powerful position against the New Deal. So he's really coming out in 1964 and saying, I disagree. He's basically calling the New Deal like push button profits, right? Like he's saying that look, it's kind of a scam and it has to end, right? Like we've got to end. We've got to go with these more libertarian style policies, smaller government, and that's what's going to deliver economic prosperity. And it's funny because we can become jaded as marketers and think that we can't tell people the truth, but you really can. And you're not gonna win everybody over, but the people you do win over are going to be great. They're going to be long term. They're going to help you have success and help you elevate you. So I think that's a really nice positioning. Okay, so that was October 1st. So then 2 weeks, WSW launch gonna be huge, October 14th. So hey, I'm doing a WS, and this is the first like real markety kind of email you send out.
That's going to affiliates.
Oh, whoops. Wait, how many? Well, let's take a look at that. How many affiliates did you get?
somehow you're on both lists, but that's an affiliate email.
Okay. And how did that? How did your affiliate launch go? Did that go okay?
Well, here's the thing. That was all I did, send that email out. I didn't contact anybody. I had like 3 or 4 people promote it, so that was good.
Okay, great.
You know, if I did it, planned it more ahead or something, or
yeah,
I would.
Hey, 3 or 4 is more than 0. Yeah, 3 or 4 is more than 0. That's great.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So next October 15th, important video on stock market. Just posted this key video for you. Some say that we're in a stock market cliff. I say the market merely paused and is getting ready to rally. Yes, you can believe in this market. And then we got a new video. Time to buy or be scared.
You don't know who I am.
Okay, so it's a live video. You shot it at a train track. And tell me about this. So this is, now we're in the launch. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is the launch, right. And it was a 4-day launch, and this is the first day.
Okay, so tell me about this video. It's a 6-minute video.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm at a train station. You see the train is moving in the background, and which is, I think, I just had this idea in my head. I saw this other video, you'll see in a second, and I thought, well, I can just go to the train station and mix it into this, subconsciously mix it into the other one. So basically, I'm just there, and it's the same stuff afterwards. I tell them why I think it's going to go up, and then after this video, it'll cut to a music video.
Okay. All right. So if I play it, if I go to the end of it, it cuts to a music video? That's funny. Oh, Bruce Springsteen, Land of Hope and Dreams. Oh, that's funny.
I didn't see the title at the top of it, right?
Yeah, Land of Hope and Dreams. The bankers, the crooks, and the bums have given the country a black eye, but it's getting back up. Europe has bottomed. The stock market is getting ready for a year of the end of the year boom. This week I'm opening up my Inner Circle WSW Power Investor Group. This is my private stock market mastermind group and coaching group. I expect spots to fill up quickly this week. Check it out. Thanks. Click here to get on board. All right, so I'm going to click. And here we go. All right, so this is an opt-in video. Opt-in. So I'm going to do an opt-in. I'm going to, this is a Weber opt-in. So let's say I'll give a mystery at area51lifestyle.com.
Well, actually, let's see what,
should I not? Oh, it says it's sold out. Oh, silly
list.
goose. Yeah, silly goose. So it says it's sold out, but you actually sent me the links to this.
Yeah.
So if I go over to promotional videos,
so what would happen though is they'd see this video, then they would
after the video they get redirected to this one. So this is the Land of Hope and Dreams. Got it. And this is the sales letter. Okay, so let's click it on the sales letter and tell me what's going on in the sales letter. Wow, we're back to picture-in-picture for the sales letter. That's exciting. So walk me through this.
I got this idea from talking to you and looking at some of the stuff you put together. But basically, there's the text of the sales letter right below the video, and I'm just reading it.
Great.
And
so you kind of read it with your commentary, correct?
What's that?
You basically read the sales letter, but you probably give your commentary as well.
No, I just read it straight out.
Okay, great.
So
I would recommend if you do this in the future for anybody watching this, if you're going to do a read of the sales letter, which I think is a great way to go, I would read it, but I would sprinkle in my commentary. I find it a little hard to believe, Mike, that you just read it and didn't sprinkle in a few of your ideas, because it kind of happens subconsciously where you wind up commenting on things. But regardless, what I like to do in a video like that, and we got over 100% bump in conversion when we did this with Bring the Fresh. We went from not having the video to having Kelly read the sales letter. It was David Mill's idea to read the sales letter with Kelly's commentary. And it was a huge bump in the performance of the sales letter, over 100%. But what he says at the beginning of it is, if you just want to read the letter below, you can, because you don't want to stick people with videos. You have to understand they're really, again, they're kind of stuck otherwise. Okay, so there's this sales letter, and Mike, you're going to leave this up so people can actually look at this. Is that correct?
Yeah, just use the link I gave you.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful value for people. And then it's a ClickBank order, and this is a monthly situation here.
Right.
Okay.
And that page converted 8.7%.
8.7%. That's eye-popping for sure.
But they had to go, through 2 pages to get to it.
Yeah. And this is your stats here. So to the first page, wow. So 3,700 went to the video with you in front of the train station.
Right.
And from there, 2,700 people. So you only lost about 1,000 people between the first and the second page. And then out of that, 242 people bought. and over 100 bought the last day. So that if we just do a little bit of math here, let's pull up a calculator here.
It's 6.5% of the people that hit the first page end up buying.
Okay, 242. So that's $11,373 per month.
Right, and
Nice.
most of the people that join, I've heard people in the internet marketing world say 3 months is the average, but the average, my people stays a year.
Yeah,
so
no, your people really
it's
stick.
different.
Yeah, your people really stick. I've seen those numbers. So that's awesome. So what we're looking at is well over $100,000 launch, and realistically speaking, you're actually going to collect well over $100,000 because a lot of those people, well, some of the people will drop off after a few months, but some people will stay year after year.
Right, that's right. I estimate like 25% of the people just stay for almost forever, essentially.
Okay, wow, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Well, Mike, this was awesome. Let's see if let's look at some of the follow-up emails in this campaign, but I got to tell you, I think this is so frickin' eye-opening. So then we have October 17th market update. I just posted this video update. So this is a picture-in-picture video that you just do a follow-up. Oh, so how did this work? This doesn't look like it's pushing people to the sales letter. It looks like you're just
what's it doing? No, it's just a picture-in-picture. No, yeah, this is a picture-in-picture and video where I answered some questions people sent an email about the offer.
Oh, wonderful. Let's talk about this.
At the bottom, it says click here, and then it'll take them to the
Oh, I see. You can join the new. All right, this is a huge piece of advice here. This is exciting.
Yeah, actually, I finally took your advice, and I answered emails.
and remember, you wound up with 100 sales the last day. So do you think it was good advice?
Yep. Oh, definitely.
So this is a real emotional thing. This is a real emotional thing. I just had a funniest email I got in from a guy on a webinar. He attended a webinar. He didn't like it. He liked it, but he just didn't feel like we were telling the truth. And he's like, I've been in sales for 20 years, and there was only 25 people on that webinar. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. There was like 400 people,
Yeah.
And but it was tough, because what could I say to him? It was just kind of my word against his.
Yeah.
So one of the situations that if you can show people, and what I almost want to do is click in on this just for a couple seconds.
Hey, Mike here. I just went for a little walk. I decided to get out my laptop and take a look and see what's going on in the stock market. And man, oh man, S&P 500 was up 1%, and my average stock position was up 1.95%. You can see some of the big gains at the top. Really something else. In the story today, yeah, they're going to talk about the Dow went up or whatever on TV, but man, the real story are the European market just exploding. You can see the Greece stock market up 3.4%, Italy up today with some great Q&A session with these people about what's going on in the market right now, because these are the critical times, as I've been telling you now the past couple of weeks, and especially this week. And what you're seeing today, we saw that correction, right, since September, and some of these markets are breaking out already. So you can see all these people signing up. And,
I love that. So one thing you're doing is you're showing all the people that are joining, right?
Right.
So they see.
Oh, is that what I did? Okay.
Yeah, and then what you're doing is then you're going to click in on some of these emails.
All sorts of questions here. Here's yet another question someone asked me. How much time do I have to decide if I want to pay for Power Investor subscription? I want to click on it a bit. Also, it's easy for me to cancel if I don't want to use it anymore. Of course, it's a monthly membership.
This is wonderful, Mike. This is really wonderful, and you're really showing, like, people can see it's in Gmail. It's all for real. It's very transparent, and again, nowadays that kind of thing works. You're not intimidating people. It's for real, and of course, I'm sure you had some testimonials sprinkled in there. Is that true?
Sure.
You did? Okay, great. So what was the response to this particular video, besides 100 sales?
Well, let me think. I was just looking while you're talking. There weren't any YouTube comments about it, but it did generate sales. The real important thing about the video, too, is I never told people there's a deadline for the launch or anything like that until this video came out.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing that's happening in the stock trading niche, I don't know if this is what's going on in other ones, but, I've been doing this for a couple of years, and in past launches, up until a few years ago, what would end up happening was, say you got 100 people the first day, you get another 100 people generally on the last day. And now it seems like what happens is you may get 30, 30, 30, and then 100.
Yeah.
There's more people, more conservative, or whatever it is, more tight for their money. So it's almost, my feeling almost is that if you're doing a launch for several days, the end content may be just as important as the beginning.
Because this is a real key chess move that you made, and it's something real different. Like, they've never seen this. You're opening up your email inbox. You're going through. They see that you care. They see that you answer your emails. People respect what you inspect. That's a real power move there. It's October 17th. And then October 18th, this is awesome. My promise to you. Mike here with a final update on the Inner Circle group. This is it. Tonight I'm going to close the doors on my Inner Power Circle investment group. So let's have a look here. And that takes them just to the sales letter. So this is the curtain call. And so you're just, basically call to action. So that last video, that was your last content, the last thing to like really fire things up. And it really pushed a ton of people over the finish line.
Yeah,
and again, this is a big deal because what you're seeing, you're really going against the trend. Your business is hugely on the uptick, while you're seeing these other people with these launches, and these folks you've already, we're already into November. People are enjoying it, right? Like they're enjoying the program, and they're in there and they're eating it up.
Sure.
It's awesome. This is awesome.
No, I haven't done. That's one thing I haven't done the webinar yet. I'll probably do it next, in a couple days.
That's cool. Well, this is really, really cool.
But no, they get all kinds of material. I mean, they've gotten several updates. There's a whole course they get too.
Yeah.
They're busy.
This is awesome stuff. Mike, I just want to thank you so much for this just incredibly revealing look into your business, the real inside baseball.
Thank you for giving me, helping out and giving me ideas too.
Oh, you're most welcome. Well, you were the one who did it, and here it is, 242 bought, 4-day launch, a little over 100 buy on the last day. You got to see every email, every video, every document, all laid out for you step by step. And Mike, you're just so incredibly generous with this case study. I think that this is remarkable. This kind of thing almost never happens. Just real step by step inside baseball. All the details explained. You've been incredibly revealing, and I just want to thank you so much for your valuable time. I'm really blown away by how valuable this is.
No, great. I hope people really get a lot out of it.
All right, I'm gonna stop the